Check, check, check. Louder.
Louder. Talk
Check,
louder.
check, check.
All right.
Good? Okay.
Good. Yeah.
How about this one? Check, check, one,
You're rolling
two.
with that mic.
All right. So we don't have to scream.
Yeah, yeah. You just gotta.
I've got to speak up.
All right.
Yeah, use big boy voice.
Put some bass in that voice.
All right. Cool.
Ready?
Cool.
All right.
All right, you're listening to WCDB Albany. I'm here in the back rooms of Empire Underground. I've got Ron and Danny from Malignancy.
What's up?
What's up, CBDL?
So, got a couple questions I wanted to ask you. First thing, we're a bit over a year out from the release of your last album, Discontinued. How's the reception for that been?
I think absolutely fabulous. Every single person I talk to, or any interview that I've done, or any review, has really been positive for this album. You're gonna get a few people that want it to sound like old crust dirt, which is fine, but that's not what we're going for. We want it to sound like, I wanted to hear it in the jukebox, and actually it could compete with every other music in there, because I don't want it to sound dirty. I don't want it to sound not as loud as a newer metal band, let's say. I want to be in competition with volume-wise, production-wise, with the best stuff out there. So yeah, sounds good and everyone likes it.
Yeah.
Nah.
Kind of on that topic, what motivated you guys to re-record your debut? Was it 2019? What got you guys wanting to redo that? Was it
Well, the tapes were lost. That's the main problem. The main tapes that we had vanished. We transferred them to CDR way back in the day. Those got destroyed somehow. There was no backup on a hard drive, and then the tapes vanished. So we had nothing to go back to for the 20th anniversary of the release. So we really wanted to put it out again and able to tweak it, and we couldn't. We just wanted to kind of raise the level up and actually master it, because that album was never mastered. Probably because it was so bass heavy, and at the time there wasn't free mastering software. So for us, it was kind of a pain in the you-know-what to do it. So we just decided, hey, let's re-record it with the current lineup to make it easier for us. And when we put it out with Severed, we put the original version and the re-recorded version. So you get two versions for one price.
Yeah. Do you have one that you prefer personally, or?
Well, everybody's going to say the original.
Yeah.
Because the original, you can't recapture that.
Yeah.
That whole recording session was just insane. It was our first full-length album. It was just so many firsts. Every first to me is always the most important. And revisiting it was great, because we ended up touring that for a whole year. We played that whole album for a whole year at that time, so that was fun as well, unearthing those crusty songs.
Yeah.
Well, that's pre-digital recording. That's recorded on tape, so
yeah.
That's why it sounds warm. That's with that's for the 48-track. It's for the 48-track Soundcraft board. We used old Marshall amps. We used rack guitar gear for bass, like the ADAs. There was so many things that went into that. Experimental guitars, Kubicki X Factor bass guitar. I was using the Ibanez Genesis 7-string when it just came out. With so many firsts. I was trying to sound like the Fear Factory demo. That's all I want to sound like.
It's a good thing you didn't tell us that.
All right. Right now, this weekend, you're playing here with, Concrete, Psychomantium, a couple other bands, and you're playing tomorrow in Brooklyn for, Mutilated Fest? Do you have any other plans coming up right now?
Sure.
You can take it.
We're going to be at, come on, let me see if I'm saying this correct. Greenfield, or Green Screens, something in Connecticut. We're playing a movie theater in Connecticut.
Yeah.
It's called Green something.
Yeah.
But we're playing with Ancient Death. We're in Bethel, Connecticut. It's Green something movie theater. Come check us out. It's gonna be totally sick. There's some other awesome bands in there. Fatal Sacrament, I think.
Are they playing?
They're on the bill. and they're our boys. The young scene in Connecticut is so good right now, everybody. So just support it, and they support us. But we want to see these younger bands do good, because the whole new scene is 20 years old to 25 years old, and it's the only reason all these shows are crowded again. We're seeing the whole scene come back, and the scene kind of died with COVID, and now it's coming back. So very happy about that, and it's because people our age had death metal babies, and now you guys are actually old enough to enjoy this crappy music, that noise, or whatever you want to call it, this disgusting horror music noise that we put out, that a small percentage of the population likes, and we're happy to play it for you. Absolutely.
Okay. So, when you started making, what were like some of your big influences, and do you still have like the same influences on what you're making now, or do you just kind of going off your own thing?
Well, obviously at the time, we had all the main guys that came out that started before us, Immolation, Mortician, Malevolent, Obituary, Atheist, Incubus. There's so many excellent bands that started the scene, and that's only US, then there's all the scene in Sweden and Europe as a whole was just amazing. So I would say that a lot of what got me into the music I utilized in the beginning, but now I'm just kind of flying at the seat of my pants. I'm not influenced by anybody now. Probably in the early 2000s we were, because brutal death metal became a thing, so we just got heavier and heavier with more technicality mixed in, so that was fun. But me as a vocalist, no. But Ron, take it away. Yeah.
Well, I was never a death metaler, so I'm crossover, thrash, punker, hardcore, and regular metal guy. I'm the rock guy too, so I'm a rock and roller. So these guys drag me in because I'm the only guy in town that could play Testament. So they drag me into death metal, and Danny gives me a few albums to listen to. So it's the Brutality, Cryptopsy, Non So Vile, Gorefest, the first one, and Human Remains, Using Sickness as a Hero. And pretty much I just went off on that, and that's how my influences were for the first Malignancy, and for Motivated. After that, it had nothing to do with any of that stuff anymore. Like Danny was saying, music was getting more technical. I was trying to keep up a little bit with Necrophagist after hearing this demo, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta step up my tech game now. So that's when you start hearing Malignancy go a little bit more from brutal to a little more tech, because then all this tech's coming out. I'm getting all happy with tech. But I'm telling you the truth, I'm getting played out with the tech. It's getting played out to me. It got played out to a lot of people. You don't see too many wanky bands wanking no more. Obscura is still wanking a little bit, and maybe Archspire, but all those bands are called separate now. They're actually called technical death metal, which I don't think any of them really are technical death metal. I think that this wanky guitar playing, technical death metal should be with the drums and the bass. That's how, like when Malignancy describes technical death metal, it's the time signature is different every 20 seconds, maybe every 5 seconds. So and then the rhythm section has to keep up with that to make something technical that the whole band's doing, not just the guitar player soloing. It was what everyone called technical death metal back in the day. That's not technical. That's a technical guitar player. Band sitting there at 4/4. So it's different, And now, solos came back. That was at its peak, and then now you see everybody going into this wannabe old school stuff, which I'm not doing either. The whole purpose of playing music for me was always to keep pushing forward to the next thing. It doesn't mean it has to be more tech, more brutal, but it doesn't. It's not gonna sound worse or it has to have more to it. It can't get lamer. It's got to get better. So I just feel like regression is not the way for death metal, and I've seen it happen now because the younger kids didn't have the first 2-3 generations of death metal that we had. So they need these new bands to do that and give them the boost. But I hope they get into some better sounding music, and then get into the best brutal death metal was early 2000 death metal. In my opinion, there's just too many amazing bands to So that's the sound I'm hoping comes back as a second wave, because everybody else seems to have their wave. Maybe we'll have a wave. I don't know. But yeah, the newer Malignancy I'm right now is going to go more into rock and roll. You know, it'll still be death metal, of course, but you'll hear more of my rock riffs, more, you know, like Punch and Stents. You know, they're not going to tech you out. They're going to have some old rock riffs in there. I'll have more of that, and then I'm going to go more brutal. I think I'm going to go more like my Motivated album on the next one. We'll see. That's what I'm thinking. But it has to be better, though, not worse. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, I mean, who's been, like, when you're talking about technical death metal, like the need for it to be like drums and bass motivated also, who's been like the main songwriter? Has it been mainly you, or has
me and Mike?
Yeah.
Either Mike will write a whole drum riff, or I'll write a whole guitar riff, or I'll write half a riff and he'll write, you know, he'll just give me a click, like I want to do something at this speed, whatever it is, we can write on the spot. Like, because to me, this is just like, I could jam a death metal song in 30 seconds and you'll think I wrote it, and it took me 5 years to just, it's just how it is. It's a natural, come out of me natural. Just hanging out, I write death metal. Same thing with Heller. He could poop out an album and we could do it in 1 week.
He has pooped out many albums.
It is, so yeah, we could write, every 2 rehearsals we'll have a whole song complete. That's what, if me and Mike get together. So that's all it takes.
Yeah, okay. Kind of less serious note, what's the craziest thing you've seen happen at one of your shows? Or to happen, or just something totally off kilter, I guess?
Well, my memory fails me because I'm getting older and I don't remember things. I was just telling the Keel on the way up that I don't have room for things anymore. So I'm just going to go with Maryland Death Fest that just happened. It was amazing. The crowd was incredibly responsive, and seeing a little girl get thrown in garbage can and almost thrown on stage was a brand new thing. Mm-hmm. I also got kicked in the face, so that was a brand new thing. Thankfully there was no bruises, but that was a lot of fun. And it's just, you know, there's a lot of great shit. I'm sure he has tons of stories that he remembers because he's the elephant in the band. He remembers everything. I flush it.
I mean, there's more to the show than what happens on the stage, right? You want to know, like when you wake up the next day and you hear someone just going, "Help! Let me out of here!" And you're walking past the club because you're playing the same club but in the bigger room, like we're playing upstairs tomorrow, and someone got trapped in the old club overnight. And they're going, "Help!" behind the cage, and I go, "Who the hell is this guy?" And I go, "Oh, it's Captain Piss." You know,
yeah, it's Chris.
It's
from
our boy Chris from Devourment. And I was like, "What happened to you?" I got stuck in the old club. I was like, "Oh my god!" So I had to go find some people to let him out and save him. That was funny.
That was funny.
That was funny. I mean, the girl in the garbage can. That was something. There's stuff I can't talk about that we've seen. That, you know, I mean, you can imagine.
Yeah.
This is, you know.
This is a family show.
And then, what else? Man, there's so many. I'm trying to think if there's something. Oh, all right. So, at Philly Infest, Mortician Malignancy was a big one. It was a big one, and. While Mortician was on stage playing, we finished playing. Rob from Digested Flesh was bombed, and he's leaning on the bass amp behind Will, and you just see him go down, and the whole bass amp and the cabinet and everything fall down while Mortician was playing it. It was just great. Like, because you could imagine, like, that's just, of course that's supposed to happen at a Mortician show, but to see it is great. It's great.
It was in slow motion too.
Yeah, that was great. And that was, and also.
See, once you get them going.
Because then it was the Rustling Band, our boy Schlack and not call the paramedics. Eat the Turnbuckle. Oh my God. That they headlined that one, and that was That was supposed to be their final show before their other final show, and it was something. It was something. I loved it. A lot of glass, a lot of blood.
A lot of glass and a lot of ass. Say ass.
Glass and blood. But yeah, if you're into a wild show, yeah, eat the turnbuckle. That was something else. Schlack says he's got other stuff in the works, so hopefully it's just as wild. I can't wait.
On that topic, what are some of your favorite bands that you've played with, like, across the years?
I'm just gonna say everybody is a favorite. Because I don't want to get into who's my favorite because then people are gonna be like, dude, you didn't even mention us. We have a great time everywhere we go. We meet so many new bands and we play with some old bands that we've never even knew existed. Kind of like us, the bands like, you guys have been around for how long? We never even heard of you. So we find that all across the world when we play different places. It's pretty cool. But here tonight we just met Concrete probably about a year ago, and it's great to be playing with them again. We played with them up in Syracuse. We're going to be playing with them again tomorrow in Brooklyn. So it's cool that we have another family member basically in Albany because Skinless was our family up here for a long time, and we always love playing with those guys. But I mean, probably throughout the years, I would say Skinless, Cephalic Carnage, Mortician, Immolation, Demolition Hammer, old school bands that we just have a great time with. Then, of course, we got our buddies in Lividity, Regurgitation. All the bands we came up with, I think we have our favorite times with. I was just telling him, Severe Torture, Disavowed, bands from Europe that we jammed with for many times. It's, I think every band we cross paths with, we have a good time. If they're cool. They can be assholes. And if they're assholes, then don't talk to us.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Don't ask him because he's going to just eat it all
I'll give
up.
you one. Exodus.
Oh. All right.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it was great when we played with Exodus. They were very friendly and open. You would think at that level, and plus they're a different genre, so you think they'd be kind of like standoffish. Because back in the day, I don't know, well, you weren't around, neither was he, but there was some choice words said about death metal bands by thrash bands in the Bay Area. So it was nice that Exodus was not one of them. So that was very cool.
Yeah. So I caught you twice before. Once when you were playing with Dismember in New York City, and once for Maryland Death Fest. I think both times you played a lot off of like pretty much everything you put out, right? But I mean, both times I've seen you a super varied set list. Do you have like a favorite release personally, either of you, or that you've done?
Well, his favorite is Inhuman Grotesqueries. I don't know. Every album has a different vibe for me, a different feeling. I listen to all of them still when I get drunk by myself in my bedroom. Shit. It's weird because you know how a lot of bands will say, oh, the new album is my favorite. And that's kind of how it goes because it's new material, it's fresh. A lot of the old stuff we've played it so many times, we still love it. But, the new stuff is brand new, so it's cool. I don't know about you. What do you think, Ron? You got to take the mic, though.
I don't. I mean, Eugenics was the concept album, so I got to do solos and play some weird guitar riffs and stuff that I wouldn't regularly do on a Malignancy album. So for me, that I could go off. That's like where I could go do a little bit more.
Yeah.
It gives less boundaries, but the new one for me is the toughest thing I've ever played. Even though Inhuman Grotesqueries is the toughest written technical death metal album we have, but that doesn't mean it's my favorite. But it's tough. I like them all. There's songs I like on every album. I can't really choose a favorite album by us. I can't say that. It's weird, right?
What's your least favorite song on any release to play?
My least favorite is shit.
That's a tough question.
Yeah, I don't have that.
What song do you fucking hate?
Nope.
There's an edit.
I don't have that.
Ron, you ruled. I messed up.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah, I can't say there's a song I hate off of the Malignancy, or we wouldn't have put it out. You know, so I'm down to play any of our songs.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Fair
yeah,
enough.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is this your first time playing Albany recently, or no?
Yeah, it's been a while.
You know when the last time generally you were up here would be?
Do you remember?
It's gonna be just either when Monty just joined the band, or before that, because I remember we were going for little chicken nuggets, and there was Irish bars. It's in the college section of town. We were playing like Wogies or Bogies or something like that.
Whoa, Wogies?
Bogies, I forget the name of the place.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
But
yeah.
so it
Yeah.
was definitely 10, 12 years ago. Easy.
Yeah, because the scene, we were told, kind of dipped, and wasn't really much going on. And now that we got this new upcrop of young people coming into the scene, they're bringing everything back. They're coming to shows, they're populating like it should be, you know, because every scene kind of does that. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got no more questions. It was great talking to you.
All right, cheers. Great talking to you too.
Great.
All right. Now it's you.